Welcome to Breaking the Fourth Wall. And I'll tell you, today's just life full of beaches. But I'm sorry, the Barbra Streisand thing made me think of that. I don't know. I am your host, Chris Wilde, and with me, as always, is my panel. First and foremost, Christina Warburton.
How y'all doing?
Eric Batista.
Hello, everyone.
Matt Cruz.
What's going on, people?
And our resident author, Kristen Stobel.
Hey, everybody.
All right. Hey, look, we're gonna go ahead and get into the news here really quick because there's plenty to report, and we're gonna start with the. Well, I'm gonna let Eric start this one off because, quite honestly, I don't really have much of an opinion on this. I feel bad that this happened, but we'll get it out of the way so we can get on to the other news. Eric, go ahead and tell us about Mo Def.
Mobb Deep, you mean?
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, there was a concert over the weekend that was featured Ice-T, Mobb Deep, and a couple of artists. His name is Prodigy. He's a member of the group Mobb Deep, and he was born with sickle cell anemia. It's a blood disorder, and supposedly he told Ice-T, goodbye, I'm going to go home back to the hotel because he wasn't feeling good. And supposedly he choked on an egg and then had to get hospitalized, and he just succumbed to the sickle cell anemia.
Choked on an egg? Are we talking like a hard-boiled egg? Or
Probably it's what it was.
But, all right, I'm a little confused right now, So he choked on an egg, but then succumbed to sickle cell anemia. I mean,
but he was sick.
I guess the sickle cell anemia was shutting his body down.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Probably process he was probably just having hard-boiled eggs, and probably started to choke, and had to get hospitalized, and he died. I think this morning, at the age of 42.
That's young.
He's a year younger than me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be way off base here, but sickle cell anemia is something that afflicts mostly African Americans.
Yes, only African Americans.
Yeah. Okay. So that is kind of like an exclusive, unfortunately, disease to that race and culture. Yeah. I'll say it straight out here. I'm not a fan of rap. I have no love or respect for majority of the hip hop community. With that being said.
But you're, like I said, people are entitled to choose what music they listen to, and, I listen to all kinds of music. I'm not one-stranded brain. I listen to metal, rock, classical, even the Broadway show music, so...
Well, yeah, so for the most part, so do I. But what I'm saying is that I may not hold a whole lot of love for the art, what people consider the art form of hip hop. That doesn't mean I don't feel bad about a 42-year-old man dying from a horrible disease.
Right.
So my thoughts and prayers do very much go out to his friends and family. Mm-hmm. I don't have to be a fan of his music or his art style to be able to say, I'm terribly sorry that he had to go, especially so young.
Right.
But that was my way of saying, giving my empathy, but at the same time passing it on to other people that may have more of a happier memory of him as an artist.
Yeah, more of a connection.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Mobb Deep. I don't listen to a lot of rap either, but I mean, the fact that anyone passed away at that kind of age is just, it's sad.
Tragic.
Especially where I know pretty much a lot of us in this group right now are getting up into that age range too. So it's something that's very, it's scary to know.
Well, for us, Christina, we don't have to worry about that kind of disease.
I'm not saying sickle cell. I'm just saying in general. That's all. Okay. It's a generalization. And I know I'm having a really funny thought in my brain of Eric driving down the road, singing I'm so pretty, oh so pretty, oh so pretty and witty and gay.
Listen.
I'm sorry. He said he listens to show tunes, so I could just picture this.
I'll be singing that song.
Oh my goodness. Oh
my God. So that's going to be a for breaking the fourth wall exclusive. We're going to set up cameras in Eric's car at some point, and he's going to sing the Sound of Music while driving.
Oh yeah, we're going to
move over, Dover Cop, sing and shake it off. We got Eric.
Have a musical episode.
Enter Lloyd Webber beware.
Oh, I had no problem doing that. I'll put it in the car and I'll put my cell phone and tape the 5-hour ride I gotta do. I'll play the whole entire CD in the car.
You see, you guys didn't live on his couch like I did when I was separated from my wife. You guys are talking about him singing the Sound of Music in the car. I've physically watched him in his boxers in the kitchen dancing around singing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Okay.
And in fact, wow, that's not dope. Wow, I can't even.
That's okay. I make up songs for everything I'm doing. Like when I'm cooking mac and cheese, I'm singing a song about cooking mac and cheese. So, to each their own.
And I thought I was bad, honestly, when I'm at work and after I have my kids for the weekend, and I'm sitting there freaking singing like just random like kids movies or other songs like that. Like I swear, the one day I'm sitting there driving, I'm driving a clamp truck, moving stack loads out of a floor load out of a truck, singing, "Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you, and our chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang loves us too, in a motor car with chitty chitty weedy pan, bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our 5-4 friend." Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our 5-4 friendered band, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang.
Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang.
The chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang.
Wow.
Jen
is musical theater kid right here.
Jen has caught me grilling at her parents' house. Like I would help with the flipping the burgers or whatever else. Like,
it flips the burger or gets the hose again.
And I'm humming meat pies from Sweeney Todd. I mean,
oh my!
At that point, I would not eat the hamburgers you were making.
What's your secret ingredient, Chris?
Damn, that's good.
I'm sure Matt's got one to add to the story collection right now.
Oh my God!
Come on, Matt, you're on the spot.
Actually,
come on.
Matt,
you're gonna put me on the spot like that, huh?
Yes.
Before you have your spot, the one thing I gotta wonder is how do we go from the death of a rapper to show tunes?
That would be Christina. I know exactly where it came off the rails.
I'm sorry.
I'll be the George Carlin, your conductor tonight. Okay, on Shiny Time Station. Okay, it was our friend Christina who decided to throw us off the rails with the. I can just see Eric going down the road singing "Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang."
No,
bang.
it wasn't Chitty Bang Bang. If you're gonna say it, get it right. I'm so pretty, oh so pretty. I'm so pretty and witty and gay. Get it right.
One thing I was thinking of was like when I'm doing dishes, and I have because I have my mix, and it's like I've got Trap Nation running wild, like with Mickey Valentine and stuff like that. And I know my kids love this one thing I have. It's called Marshmallow Man, and my son's like rapping along with the song. And you got to understand, he's 3 years old. So it's the funniest thing. Like he's like mimicking every other word that I say. The good news is it's clean, so they can't get anything. But the funny thing is, I actually saw my youngest, actually out of the twins, Alicia. Oh my God, hilarious! She got deep into black and white. It was hilarious. She just Sound of Music. Like she just got deep into it. I'm like, what in the heck, girl? Where did this come from? I'm like, where did this come from? I've
caught my kids in the shower. They like to sing in the shower, and they be so loud. I walked up on my phone and audio recorded them.
Oh my God!
I have video. I still have it actually of my daughter when she was about. I guess she was about 3 years old at the time, singing Katy Perry's "Roar," and she's getting completely in it. Like she's running across the living room. She pushes on the couch and throws herself off the couch to run the other way, and she's just screaming because it's funny because she doesn't know all the words. But as soon as I have the eye of the tiger, but as soon as Tiger comes, she starts screaming tiger. Like the last words, she just starts screaming them. It is like the most adorable, but like just funny thing I've ever. And then I have another video of my daughter talking about that. We were at a wedding. This was back. It's about also when she was about 3. It's 3 years ago, and they were playing rap music. And this one song is like "She Got a Donk," and she starts dancing to it, and you would swear she heard this song before. So I knew she hadn't. And she had this like perfectly choreographed dance, like it was just hysterical.
Speaking of choreographed dances, one last one here, Eric. You'll remember this. Our friend Nate. Remember when he would get drunk and grab like one of the microphones and he would lip sync to and dance to "If I Were King of the Forest" from The Wizard of Oz?
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Understand people don't know Nate. Christina should remember Nate.
I remember Nate.
Nate was our. We used to call him a double stuffed Oreo. He was our resident black guy in the group.
Oh my goodness!
Little heavy set.
Little.
Funnier than hell. Funnier than hell. He was compared to Joe, his white shadow. Okay.
Oh my
only
God.
a little heavy set.
Well,
Joe
at least Nate didn't
Marshmallow
smell.
Man.
I'll give him that. Unlike some, yeah.
Joe was Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Like after the Ghostbusters toasted him.
He was the chocolate. He was the chocolate marshmallow man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nate was probably one of the nicest guys you ever saw, but when he got drunk and then he would want to get that soundtrack in his head, he would dance around. If I were the king of the forest. I mean, it was hilarious.
Oh, there's something else we have to get because Chris is kind of funny singing that song.
Oh my God!
Here we go. Coming up on a future Breaking the Fourth Wall. Breaking the Fourth Wall and show tunes.
I have a Dorothy outfit. So there we go. I can put that on.
I will agree to do this. We could do a full production. I will agree to do this, but Kristen has to ship that off to Eric. Eric is Dorothy.
Oh.
No, it's custom made for me, and my feet are tiny.
And Eric's got to do the dance. Got to do the dance for a West Side Story, the fight dance. The banana. Look at Eric. I mean, look at Matt going to town on that.
Trust me, I'm Puerto Rican. I had to grow up with that with my mother. Oh my God!
All right, so maybe Matt should
idea.
Maybe Matt should do West Side Story.
Oh my God!
Eric can do Sound of Music.
Oh God! Tonight. Oh God!
All right, let's get back onto the news here. We have plenty to talk about. This just reported in. Lucasfilm has released the directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller attached to Star Wars Han Solo movie. From reports, it was just creative differences, according to Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm. Unfortunately, visions and processes weren't aligning with the partners on the project. The film is still slated to release May 25th, 2018, and they will be announcing a new director very soon. Guys, should we be worried about this Han Solo movie?
No.
No.
Not at all. Here's the thing. I mean, thing I will say about Disney can be very, especially it seems like with the LucasArts projects, they are very tenacious with keeping things right. I mean, look at Rogue One. Look at Episode 7. They are very tenacious in a lot of ways, and they want to do right by Star Wars, and you can see this. So I have a feeling maybe them releasing these directors and not just settling for what the directors want to do and trying to get the movie right is a good sign, because it shows you know something. No, this is not how we need this movie this way. We can't do this way. We can't have Han Solo flying a Cadillac. It's not going to work.
I just picture him in like a purple fur coat with the gold teeth and everything.
Yeah, the big the hat with the big partridge feather hanging off of it.
Yeah.
With the toothpick out, like driving the big old pink Cadillac, like, bitch better have my money.
Yep.
Bitch better have my money. Or better yet, Jabba better have my money.
Oh my God!
Jabba better have my money.
Shifter.
Yeah, the 8-ball shifter, and don't forget the barefoot gas pedal.
There you go. I'm sorry.
Also,
And shag carpet everywhere. Look like you skinned a Build-A-Bear shop.
and also, in other
Build a Wookiee.
Build a Wookiee.
Build an Ewok.
There we go.
Yes.
And other Star Wars related news, it is reported that we should be seeing a full trailer for The Last Jedi released by D23. Guys, are we excited about Episode 8 and getting a full trailer?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
Yes,
Of
we
course I am.
Hell yes, absolutely. I want to see this.
Now, D23, what are they? What are they?
D23 is it's basically Disney's Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
Didn't Mario said he was going to that this year?
Yeah, Mario is going to be reporting from D23. D23 is basically Disney showcases everything Disney does, you know, from the Pixar stuff and the Disney movie franchise stuff to Lucasfilm to Marvel.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
And Dimension Films, which people forget they own Dimension and Miramax. That's why I wasn't worried when they bought Lucasfilm. They're like, they're going to Disneyfy it. It's like, has anybody seen The Crow? Because that's technically owned by Disney, too.
Good point.
Has anybody seen Kevin Smith films? They're technically Disney.
I know.
So now that Disney owns Star Wars, does that mean that Luke Skywalker is a Disney prince?
Yeah, and Leia's a princess.
Yeah.
Actually, we're still fighting.
Actually, would Darth Vader be a Disney prince?
I'm guessing no.
Why not? Because at one point it was a prince. It was he was kind of in a relationship with a princess. Amidala.
Technically,
She was
they're
a queen.
and she
Yeah.
was a queen. So if he marries, they were married.
Yep.
They were married. They're keeping that canon.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like Prince Darth Vader with the Mickey Mouse ears?
Prince Vader.
Prince Vader. All of a sudden, he doesn't sound so scary anymore.
Right. Well, that came up because I play SWTOR, and we were talking about how we customized our various characters, and I was like, mine looks like the prince from Cinderella, and they're like, so you really did make him a Disney prince. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna own it. I did.
What server are you on?
What? I'm on Ebonhawk.
Oh, I'm on Shadowlands.
Huh. I used to play on a European, and then I switched.
Yeah,
over.
I haven't played in about a year, but I'm on Shadowlands. I have all 8 of my characters are there.
Oh wow, yeah, I moved all mine to Ebonhawk because the people I play with all live on the East Coast.
Gotcha. Maybe I'll look into it. Maybe I'll re-kick my account back on and I'll come play, and you can get to meet my smuggler. I have the Rascal's toothpick, so she's a Twi'lek with the Rascal's toothpick, so it's just perfect.
Nice.
Hey, I've got Knights of the not Knights of the Old Republic. That would be awesome if we had that. The Old Republic on my computer too, and I'm about to launch Press A Gaming. That could be episode 1. We all get together and play some Star Wars Old Republic.
I'm down with that. I mean,
yeah. Does the multiplayer? Does that multiplayer even work anymore?
It does. It
Or
does.
it
I played that most of today. My little blue Chiss Deathflower was murdering everything.
Well, I have some breaking news for breaking the fourth wall.
Okay.
Our time slot on Radiocast FM of Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time has been accosted. We will no longer be appearing on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on Radiocast FM. We have been offered 5 to 7 p.m. on Saturdays.
Not bad.
Okay.
That could be better.
So we are moving time slots.
Okay.
Alright.
And we will be right in between 2 5-hour blocks of well-known professional radio jocks. So in other words, there should be listeners available.
Okay. So this is going to be hopefully a good thing. Good move.
It's a positive move, yeah. Originally, I know I kind of seemed like I was in and out of the conversations because I'm actually talking to the owner of Radiocast FM right now, who is asking Want to start that next week? That works for me. Talking to me and was originally talking about this week. Unfortunately, Christina is doing her final Eclectica. She is doing one last one, and then she's taking some time off, obviously, for personal issues and stuff of that nature. She just really can't afford the time to be able to DJ on Wednesday nights. Radiocast was first offering us Eclectica's time slot for Breaking the Fourth Wall because somebody, I guess, I don't know who, but somebody well-known, the only time slot they would be available was August. And this is just going off of the conversation I was having while we were all talking. But I told him I don't think Wednesday will work with the fact that we record on Tuesdays and we got to give Christina time to be able to rip out the audio, separate it up to the segment cuts for Radiocast so they can have their commercials and music in between and stuff of that nature. I said, I don't mind if Breaking the Fourth Wall takes a break from Radiocast until we can find a better time slot, if that need be, like being a fair player. And he just turned around and said, how about Saturdays 5 to 7? That works for me. I know nothing was really going on Saturdays anyway, and I think that would be a more primetime spot for us because people will be home and available.
Right.
Doesn't
It'll be easier when I promote.
Doesn't War of the Stars also broadcast on Saturdays?
Nope. That was a one-time trial.
Oh, okay.
That was a one-time trial with Radiocast, and it's never been approached about whether we're going to get that to be a continuation thing or not. Really, that's I don't want to go into business. I don't want to go into business too much on the live show here, but really that's Mark Tolley's show, and if he would want it to be on Radiocast, it would have to become a weekly basis show and not bi-weekly.
Right.
I see.
So that would be something that Mark would have to decide, and if he wanted to do that, I'll happily bring it towards Radiocast, see if we can find him a slot. Maybe he could take the Eclectica Wednesday slot. Who knows? But
yeah, to touch on the Eclectica thing, it's a lot of just time management right now, more than anything else. And we're really trying to get Realm of the Mist up and running. And for those who don't know, I do a lot of the backdrops work here. I do editing. Handle most of the editing, if not all of it, for this show, for War of the Stars, That Trans Geek Girl, which is my podcast, Gaming XP that is coming up, as well as I just started handling the editing of Nerdy Observations, which is Mark Tolley's other show. And so, yeah, my hands are pretty full, and so that's one of the reasons why I decided to just take a step back. I'm going to come back eventually. However, just right now, it's just I need that break to be able to get everything else in sync and everything else where it needs to be so we can grow this as a company and help bring Radiocast up with higher quality shows.
You are the Felicity to our Team Arrow.
Have you seen my computer setup? I posted pictures a while ago.
Yeah.
Why am I all of a sudden
Overlook.
Why am I all of a sudden very afraid that in this Team Arrow I'm Mr. Terrific?
So what does that make me?
We'll give you Diggle. We'll be nice. We'll give you Diggle.
Right.
Who would Eric be then?
Speedy.
That's jacked.
All
I
right.
already claimed Black Canary.
There you
There
go.
were 2 Speedies. It's up to you to decide whether he's the male or female one.
He does have big boobies.
The female one, for sure.
I think my belly's bigger than my breast.
Your belly's holding your breast up.
That's the reason they don't sag.
All right, moving.
But yeah, I'll happily accept that compliment being Felicity. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been working on catching up on Arrow, so.
If I could just squeeze this in, I was just reading about it. It looks like they're turning Deadpool is going to be becoming a TV series.
That would kill it. No, that would not work.
No, I have heard talks that they were talking about doing an animated Deadpool.
It depends on what channel and what time slots.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, if they're doing like the old Spawn animated show, like on HBO, where it's going to be,
oh yeah,
then that would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be animated.
You can't PG-13 Deadpool. You just can't.
Yeah, if it's on like 12, 11 o'clock at night on like HBO or Stars or one of those channels, then yeah, awesome. But if it's going to be on like Fox like 7 o'clock at night, then no.
According to what I'm reading, it says the FX network.
No. FX hammers like over censors everything.
Yeah.
Well, not true. I mean, Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy were FX. And they were pretty brutal shows, but the problem is they were still PG-13.
Have you ever watched a movie on FX? I remember watching Ghostbusters. I have seen stuff that will turn you white. This is true. This man is some sort of rodent or something. I'm not sure what he is. I mean, come on.
I would definitely rather see it on like a premium channel or Netflix.
Right.
Definitely Netflix.
Absolutely.
You know, where they can uncensor it.
I will say one thing.
The part that screws it up.
I will say one thing about FX. It was the funniest edit I ever heard in any movie was on FX. And there was one part where the guy turns around. I'm not going to say what the original one was, but the edit was, it goes, Julius H. Caesar.
Okay.
All of a sudden, I want to watch the opening part of Reservoir Dogs on FX.
Oh, God.
Talking about Madonna. Dick. That's a lot of dicks. I want to hear that edited.
Bob. That's a lot of bobs.
Yeah.
There, already edited. There's the edited version. No, the best was still Ghostbusters. Is that I have seen it like that. I said, "Has anyone cursed yet?" I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
Well, the part where he goes, I have seen shit that'll turn you white. He goes, where he goes, so that's true, this man has no dick. And he turned around and goes, and the FX edited version was like, goes, this true? And, then Venkman turns around and goes, true, this man has no dick. No, they edited it out, and he goes, no, this man is some sort of rodent or some kind, I'm not sure. Well, it was just like, wait, what? I mean, it didn't even sync up with his mouth anymore. Like, he was already done talking, and his voice is still going.
Oh, my God.
Yes, it's horrible.
Well, speaking of movies and things that Disney shouldn't be playing with, but are Venom. We reported on this last week about how they are releasing it, and they're talking about doing it PG-13, which really that to me still feels like a mistake. It should be rated R. However, the Tom Hardy-led movie has been announced and confirmed to be part of not only Spider-Man Homecoming's universe, but in turn part of the MCU, along with Black Cat and Silver Sable.
Silver Sable.
Silver Sable.
Interesting.
Silver Sable.
Connect with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I agree with that fully. That is interesting. I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
If I may, Black Cat's an excellent choice. I wonder how they're going to play Felicia Hardy up, especially with Peter being so young. However, with the idea of Silver Sable, I wonder if that could lead to the Thunderbolts. Which, if you don't know who the Thunderbolts are, I can explain them. They're basically a bunch of bad guys who want to do some good. They're basically Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, except instead of having explosions strapped to them, well, actually inserted in them, they actually do it on their own volition as part of an agreement as parole.
Interesting.
Which actually is Silver Sable, Sandman, Battlestar, and I'm trying to think of the other members, but that's some of the headliners they have on the Thunderbolts. And actually, they did revamp them again with War Machine and Hawkeye. There's been actually a couple of versions of it.
Well, one of my biggest concerns with this, and this is my question to this announcement, is how does Venom tie into the timeline of Spider-Man: Homecoming? I mean, how does it connect? Because we all know from the comics and even from the original movies with Tobey Maguire that Venom was a symbiote alien species that came to Earth and attached itself to Spider-Man, and when Spider-Man broke off of the symbiote is when it found Eddie Brock and became Venom.
Right.
Correct.
Now, we've got Spider-Man who's running around in Homecoming, basically a high school teenager who was using a homemade suit until Tony Stark gives him his Spider-Man outfit in Civil War. And what's he going to say to Tony Stark? It's like, oh, you know what? This one time I had this really cool alien outfit, but I got rid of it. So thanks for the new suit. I mean, how are they going to tie in the Venom Spider-Man connection?
Maybe they won't. I mean, it may be possible they may just leave it out and it just goes right to, it skips that whole part of the story, which I don't know how it'll work out, but maybe that's what they're doing.
Right.
Actually, they could.
I think they'll skip ahead. They'll skip ahead to Agent Venom, where he's kind of a good guy joining up with Guardians of the Galaxy and the Nova Force.
I think that could be a play later on. I think right now they're just going to skip the whole Batman part. I mean, if the Spider-Man part. I'm tired. I've had a stressful day.
You have. You have.
Actually, they could wire it to itself. Basically, they could do it like they do it as we know with Marvel tradition. They could give the snippets towards the end of the movie and then give it its own like little 2-minute blurb of how Venom is separating from Peter Parker or gets into Peter Parker, leading to Spider-Man 2.
Right, the credit scenes. So it could be anything at this point.
Or it could lead to the Venom, the Venom as a single movie in its own franchise.
Well, Venom is a single movie in its own franchise.
Well, you know what I'm saying. That's how they could play it up.
Right. It's supposed to tie into Spider-Man and in turn to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it is its own standalone. So this is Venom's story.
Right.
Well, that would be the best way to tie it in.
Do you think Spider-Man will appear in Venom's movie?
Yes.
But they would have to. They would have
Probably.
to. I'm sorry. You can't have one without the other. Not this early in the career. It would totally destroy it if they didn't.
I mean, maybe even with the Stark suit, maybe it will, try to bond with him. Maybe the Stark suit is the reason why it won't bond. I mean, this is Tony Stark. We're talking about here, or Tony Stank.
That's not going away.
Yeah, that's not going.
I was noticing.
Tony Stank.
The accent went somewhere.
Are you Tony Stank?
Eric, any opinion on Venom before we move on?
No.
Okay. Well, then I got one you will have an opinion on. This coming Thursday night, Friday morning, Cars 3 is being released. Now, Pixar has just recently announced that originally in the first design draft of the movie, they had originally set up where Lightning McQueen would have appeared in the Cars universe version of Los Angeles at a Hollywood party, which would have been a whole bunch of different cars that were in TV shows and movies. And, of course, in this universe, the cars are the stars instead of, the actors or whatever the case may be.
I mean, like Boat Reynolds in the second one? Or in Planes, Fire and Rescue?
No, think about instead of Bo and Luke Duke, the General Lee's the star of the show.
Yeah, no, just saying you got Boat Reynolds, which cracked me up.
Well, in this party, we were going to be treated to a cameo appearance of the 1966 Batmobile and the 1989 Tim Burton Batmobile, having a conversation with each other. And it was rumored that they were talking about having the late Adam West and Michael Keaton voice both characters. Oh. Unfortunately, the story took a different direction and that scene had been cut. Guys, how awesome would it have been in Cars 3 to have a cameo of Adam and Keaton doing their Batman voices as the Batmobiles?
I would have been not into those.
I would actually go see that in the theaters just for that scene.
I would actually watch that movie.
I have kids,
movies, but I'd watch it for that.
I have kids. I don't have choice either. But that's the thing right there. I could use my kids as an excuse to go see the movie without seeing weird. That's why we have kids. This is the real reason we have kids. So we could go to kids' movies that we want to see and like just sing the kids along so it doesn't look we're weird.
I know, right?
And go into the kids aisle and get the toys.
And yeah, I totally won't talk about the movie afterwards. Like, oh my god, did you see Cars 3? It was awesome!
I'll tell you what, as a 40-year-old man, it is great to have children. It makes going into Toys R Us feel a little less sleazy when I'm buying toys.
I know, right?
You had to go there.
Nieces and nephews. I can take them.
There you go.
Okay, in fairness, I have gone into the toy aisle and then picked something out and at the checkout been like, oh, it's for my nephew.
No.
Oh no! You want to hear something real? I was at Walmart last week on Saturday, and I was in the toy section because I always kind of stop in there because that's where they keep most of the pops and they keep all the Star Wars stuff. So I'm in there and I see somebody coming on the aisle, and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, oh great, now this is not going to look weird or anything. Here's me standing there by myself, no kids with me, thumbing through a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff, and here comes this guy around the corner about. Good 400 or 500 pounds on one of those mobility carts, almost runs me over to push me out of the way so he can look at the Star Wars stuff. It's like, really?
That's going to be me at 60. I'm
Yeah,
good.
see, it doesn't matter what age you are.
That's it. You're way.
There you go.
All right, well,
Talking
about Batman and the Batmobile, we have an anniversary to celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest Batman movie ever turns 20 today. Robin.
Why? Because bat nipples.
What's that?
Why? Because bat nipples.
Because bat nipples. Look, I said it off camera. I'm going to say it again. I'm sticking up for the feminist movement right now. There has been inequality in Batman and Robin because Batman and Robin had bat nipples and Batgirl didn't. We need a special edition where we digitally enhance some bat nipples on Batgirl's uniform.
Can we just edit out the other bat nipples? That would make it a lot more comfortable.
That's kind of where what I was thinking.
I would rather them edit the Clooney bat nipples off, okay? Please. Make that happen.
Be easier to do from an editing standpoint, too.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who's feeling that this movie had way more wrong with it than nipples on the uniforms?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it was.
There was so much wrong that's the one thing everybody picks to focus on.
You know what it is? That movie is like a car crash. You haven't done the interstate and there's this like bad car crash and you don't want to watch it, but it's there so you can't take your eyes off of it. That's that movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Going back to our musical thoughts on like Eric driving and everything else.
I am so pretty, oh so pretty. I'm so pretty and witty and gay.
I will say Arnold Schwarzenegger making everybody sing I'm Mr. White Christmas does remind me of Eric a lot.
Oh God. That was horrible. It's such bad memories, man.
I mean, there was like the only part of the movie. There's the only character in the movie that wasn't screwed up was Schwarzenegger as Dr. Freeze. He did a good job.
He did.
Even getting past, Schwarzenegger.
With every bad pun imaginable. Mr. Freeze has no personality, and they're giving him the best jokes of the movie.
I know that.
Well, that wasn't exactly hard to do if you think about it.
I like the Mr. Freeze from the animated series, man. That was Freeze done right. What Schwarzenegger did was an abomination, man. The whole damn thing it's a flaming dumpster fire.
I didn't say he did a good job. I said it was the best. He was the best character of the movie. There is a difference.
Jesus
there
Christ.
is a difference, and it's not necessarily a whole big amount of praise.
Look, I'll put it to you simply.
It's not necessarily who did an awesome job, who just didn't suck who sucked the least.
Look, I get what Christina's doing. She's looking for the prettiest kernel of corn in the turd.
Exactly.
I mean, I liked Poison Ivy's outfits. Those were
Well, I did enjoy watching Alicia Silverstone in Black Rubber. As long as it's like a Britney Spears music video. As long as I hit mute, I can enjoy it.
Exactly.
See, once again, there's the male train of thought to a T. Ooh, I see butt and boobs and tight rubber. 2 minutes ago, he was trying to be feminist.
I was fighting for free the nipple.
Somehow it just seems a little less feminist.
And all of a sudden, he went back to.
I'm just,
I think he kind of missed the mark on that, just a hair.
Yeah,
just a hair.
Maybe it is my male mentality. If we're going to talk about feminism for a second here, like in New York, where they're trying to push for like women allowed to walk shirtless, like guys do in the heat and the weather and stuff like that. Who's fighting against this? Like even the most chauvinistic male would be like, okay, yeah, like who's fighting against women being able to do that?
Okay, Chris, are we talking about a certain age limit? Because who wants to see a 75-year-old woman with her sagging boobs hanging down her chest?
See, once again, now that's discriminatory.
Lunch rush?
Right.
That's discriminatory right there, Eric.
Yeah.
If you don't want to see it, don't look.
I don't want to see her basset hounds that low.
Ouch.
Yeah, but there are a lot of guys that go shirtless that people don't want to see.
Yeah. You know how many times I've gone to the beach seeing a guy with boobs hanging lower than that 75-year-old woman and a belly that like just kind of droops over everything. Like you can't even see the guy sweat. And that's the guy who wants to wear the damn Speedos. That those should be goddamn illegal.
Or the guys that have their pants that just won't stay up, and so whenever they bend over anything, their butt cracks are out.
I want to carry around a tube of caulk with me for those days.
I suffer from no ass. That is a clinical disease. I suffer from no ass at all. I can't still stay up for shit. That's my one.
We just went past our curse limit.
That's my one for the day. But I do have to agree with you on that. There are guys walking around in Wildwood, New Jersey right now that if women are forced to wear a bra, they should be too.
Amen. And that's the other thing. Like, there should be certain men. You want to talk about, like, clothing privileges and rights? Certain men should not be allowed to wear thongs, Speedos, or anything under a 75-pound weight limit.
Thank you.
And that's the thing. Like, I was down at Rehoboth Beach Saturday, and this guy was walking around. He had this thong on, okay, which would have been fine if it didn't look like somebody squeezed the air, like somebody rolled up the the tube of toothpaste, and it was all just blown up out of the top half of this little Speedo. And I swear those threads were at their damn breaking strength. There's breaking tensile strength, okay? Like if he farted, dude, that thing was going. It was probably that G-string was probably so tight. Let me finish. That G-string was probably so tight. If he farted, it was actually plucking an E-string. Okay? Bong.
Wait. He was wearing a thong so tight that if he farted, it would whistle.
Yeah. No, it would sound like somebody was playing a guitar. Hey guys, I can play Angel of Death.
I'm just envisioning as a kid, you take a piece of paper and you would hold it against your lips and like blowing, you get like the little noise or whatever. That's all I'm envisioning. Somebody just lifting cheek, and that's all you do the crowd.
I swear there should be a danger sign around that guy. Danger. Thong may break at any time.
Oh God! Why do I get the impression?
All right, guys, let's take a break. We're at 43 minutes, so let's take a break and have RadioCast do their thing.
Why do I have the impression that this week's episode is now entitled "Bat Nipples and Man Thongs"?
Grape smugglers. Just call it grape smugglers. It works. Bat nipples and grape smugglers.
We'll be right back on RadioCastFM.com.
Oh.
Hey, welcome back to Banana Hammock on Fourth Wall.
Oh, God.
We're swinging at you.
Hammock. That's what this show is broken down to. We've gone into dick and fart jokes. That's all we have.
Oh, my God.
Well, no, the grape smugglers are a little bit more than that. It keeps everything tight, but makes everything awkward.
Yes, you have joined into the low-hanging fruit of RadioCast FM shows.
And this might be our last ever episode of Radio Cast at this point, because maybe getting kicked off after this episode.
We're probably getting kicked off after this episode, yeah.
What? I can just picture the conversation with the owner right now. Hey, Chris, do you have a minute to talk?
No.
Yeah, what's up? I can't... What was all this stuff about grape smugglers? What are grape smugglers? Are they Colombians? Are they smuggling?
Is that what you said? I want to apologize to any of our Colombian listeners.
Yeah, the one we might have.
The one we might have. Juan Valdez, I'm sorry.
You're something, you just made it worse.
I like my coffee.
Oh, God.
I didn't know that was a prime export from Colombia.
Break Matt count. How many times we break Matt in an episode?
Oh, we're going for gold tonight.
I see the counter on the bottom left of the screen right now.
And it should go ding every time.
No, not ding. We just need an audio recording of his first initial laugh. It just goes every time.
Sounds like Michael Jackson getting butt shanked.
No, that's the sound effect. We'll call it Michael Jackson puts a thong on backwards.
Maybe that's why he grabs him. Maybe he always did. Maybe that's why he had to grab himself all the time to try to reposition himself.
Oh, God.
That's what it was. It wasn't dancing. It was like, God damn it, shifted again. That explains how he hit them high notes.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
All right. Well,
now that we've angered Michael Jackson fans everywhere.
Oh, wow, our one fan probably we have it, Michael Jackson.
Hey, it's a 7-10 split he had to live with, okay?
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh!
7-10 split and the balls keep rolling down the middle.
Oh. Oh, wow.
I've lost complete control of this show.
And we are now a fiery train wreck.
Show.
We are now a fiery train wreck. And Eric's just sitting there laying back like Al Bundy.
He's watching Netflix.
This probably is true.
Oh.
He's probably watching.
I'm actually looking at the 13 worst movies of a sequel.
Oh, you're cheating.
Nice segue.
Oh, look at him being all like focused.
Rant.
This is the first time for everything, ladies and gentlemen.
Sequels that have actually destroyed a franchise. Eric, since you're looking up, you could start us off. What kind of sequels destroyed a movie franchise?
You want me to hit? I'll hit with, what do you want? Number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Dealer's choice, man.
All right, I'm going to give you number 1. RoboCop 3.
Ooh. Actually, I don't agree with that. RoboCop 3 wasn't too terrible. My only biggest complaint about that was that Peter Weller wasn't RoboCop.
I didn't really like it. It felt pushed.
Yeah.
It felt rushed. It wasn't. The first one was great. I mean, they didn't have to make didn't have to do a redo. It was great the way it was. I mean, I liked the remake. I did. But yeah, part 3.
See, I would have said the remake was the one that crushed the franchise because it deviated completely from what RoboCop was.
Do you want number 2? Because it's been the talk of the night.
Sure.
I know.
Batman and Robin.
Oh,
that not number 1. How is that not number? Well,
what's number 1 now?
Number 1 was RoboCop 3.
What's number 3? Let's hear what number 3 is then. See what you said the other 2.
Grease 2.
Wow. Wow.
There you have that on Blu-ray?
Dumpster fire. Yes, that was a flaming, stinking dumpster fire.
Oh. Wow, I can't believe they actually considered that.
Well, see, a couple of the ones I was thinking of that popped into my head when thinking about like franchise killing sequels. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
That wasn't on here?
That was a horrible movie. Neverending Story 3.
There was a Part 3.
Why? No.
I have the original, and I didn't like the other ones.
I didn't mind 2 so much, but 3 was, oh my god, that was a
I liked 2 because the book is actually the first and second movie. So I liked 2 in that it actually followed the rest of the story because they kind of stopped halfway through the book with Neverending Story, like the first movie.
Right.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
the second one wasn't too bad, but I didn't like it because it didn't feel right to me not having part of the original cast, or there was too much time in between.
I would agree with that.
It felt like it was too far apart for me. If they could have kept it with the original cast, I would have been like, okay, it was okay. I mean, but it was too far apart. Too far apart.
I think what they should have done, and it would have been better, is if they actually did a reboot, and because the cast doesn't look any. They didn't even try to cast people that looked like the original ones. I think if they'd done a reboot, it would have been better received.
Well, I didn't mind the dude who played Bastion.
Jonathan Brandis.
Jonathan Brandis.
I knew it was Brandon something or so. Yeah, Jonathan Brandis. Like, he was okay in the movie. I think he was the one saving grace in the movie.
Right. Then he went on to do Sequest.
But
awesome show.
Which was an awesome show.
Yeah.
But like them not getting to write Atreyu, and even Falcor, they didn't even get the animatronics of Falcor.
Oh, and it was worse.
Yeah.
It was actually worse than in the second movie.
Yeah, it was like
apparently.
It was like
I was like, right.
It was like
I was 3 when it came out, and apparently I threw a huge fit at the end of the movie because I thought it was going to be never ending. So I don't know if I just thought we were going to be in the movie theater for the rest of our lives, but I just threw this huge fit when the movie ended.
And it's such a shame because a lot of these movies that we're talking about, Neverending Story,
RoboCop,
Batman, RoboCop. These had strong openers, and even some of them had like strong second installments. And then we up in the cluster of the third, or the sequel that destroys the franchise.
Well, speaking about that, how about Starship Troopers 2 and 3
and 4
and 4?
Oh Jesus! Yeah, it got worse as
like
time
the
went
first
on.
Starship Troopers was great. I absolutely adore the first Starship Troopers.
I liked it.
And the second was just like, what didn't have any of the original cast. It was literally like, what the hell are you doing? Then they tried to bring back some of the original cast in the third one, and they just screwed it up worse. Like, that was even possible, but they did. They figured out a way.
Yeah, they did.
There's also ones that somehow survived a terrible sequel. Like
Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. That's a horrible movie. And now they're making another one.
And from what I understand,
it is out. No, it's out now.
How about we go back? How about Halloween 3, Season of the Witch?
That's easily expandable. That was actually John Carpenter's fault because he wanted to do it much later, like Trick or Treat. The way Trick or Treat came out, how it was different stories, like kind of like Tales from the Crypt or one of those type of horror magazines.
Oh, I know.
That's what he wanted.
I know what it was, but I'm just saying it was such like a horrible. It just was done so badly.
Yeah, I guess
from a movie franchise that was already built up. Michael Myers. I mean, to a point where the next movie they went right back to Michael Myers because they're like, oh, we messed up. Let's just backstep in. Never good again.
How about Hellraiser Bloodline?
Oh, is that the one with the DJ in there too?
Yes.
No, that was 3. Bloodline was the one that took place in space with the space station that became a giant cube.
Oh God!
Yes. That Hellraiser part of the franchise was kind of depressing.
Why?
And I've mentioned it before, but the third Mummy movie, not this. I don't count the Scorpion King because that's more of a spin-off, but the third Mummy movie. Ugh.
Oh, the Emperor.
Star Trek V, Final Frontier.
And let's not go back to our conversation a couple weeks ago with Alien Resurrection. Alien
3.
Resurrection technically did kill a franchise.
Yeah.
Some things should not be resurrected.
That
Just
one was
don't go
so.
there.
But Star Trek V is a perfect example. Star Trek's a perfect example of something that survived its franchise killing, because 5 should have killed it. There should never have been a 6. There should never have been a Next Generation movie. Reboot maybe, but there shouldn't have been a movie on it. 6 was
pretty good though.
6 was great, yeah.
They went back to the formula that worked with 6. Also, Klingons quoting Shakespeare.
Well, how about also the Matrix? How about the Matrix Reloaded?
Oh God! Matrix I try to forget that any of the sequels happened.
Yeah, the only good sequel from the Matrix was the Animatrix.
Yes, absolutely. That was actually tender, loving care. The other ones were just like we're gonna make a 2-hour filler and make it work.
I mean, like seriously, okay, you guys are surviving for your lives on this like destroyed Earth. They go to Scion, and Scion's a big dance party.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding.
And all of a sudden now they're all wearing like decent gear, like.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, and the stories were convoluted and weird, and it just didn't work.
And then the third one came out, and it just was like even worse.
Yeah.
And it's like, please stop, please stop, please stop. Oh, damn, I can't remember math now. You know?
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't unsee this.
We were just talking about them earlier. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, God.
Secret of the Ooze.
No, I'm not even gonna pick on Secret of the Ooze. Turtles in Time, the third.
That's stupid.
Oh God damn it! Just no, just no.
Just let it die.
Yeah.
No, that was just they could. It just no, just no. It was. I mean, Michael Bay. You thought Michael Bay's abortion was bad. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, come on. They should have known better with Michael Bay when he had him direct Transformers, because look what the mess he did to Pearl Harbor.
You're lucky my kids are in bed right now, because right now you're about to invoke a wrath of rant. I swear to God. Michael Bay.
Let's move on.
Big explosion.
Second rant. It's a perfect segue.
Guy going.
Second rant. Transformers: The Last Night comes out this weekend. This is the 5th installment of the the Transformers Michael Bay series, and has also been announced as the final Michael Bay Transformers movie.
Thank God.
Michael Bay is stepping away.
They should have kept it a trilogy and just quit there while they were already falling behind.
Jesus Christ.
Well, look, I know this is the question I'm gonna pose to you guys. Like, I'm a big Transformers fan, like the cartoons, the toys.
Hell yeah.
Original cartoon movie, even though like they destroyed our childhood by killing every single freaking Transformer we loved in like the first 15 minutes of the movie.
I know.
But with the Michael Bay films, I don't hate them as much as a lot of people do. I mean, to me they're just fun popcorn flicks. If I close off my brain and just enjoy it for an action flick, I can forgive the fact that it's just a CGI mess. I do have to swallow Shia LaBeouf's performance, which you have to do in anything Shia LaBeouf is in, but beyond that.
Oh, come on. Let's be honest. You're a guy. You just sit there and make up for it by staring at Megan Fox.
Yeah. But you know what? As hot as Megan Fox is, I love the girlfriend that he had in the third one more.
The German girl.
Yeah. To me, she was hotter.
See, it's not.
I don't know.
It's not just the raping of my childhood that I can't stand Michael Bay. It's the complete formula that he does every time. He's done it now for 5 movies where you can actually make the Michael Bay drinking game. It's like you take a shot for every situation you see in Michael Bay's movie. 1, perpetual sunset. Everywhere you turn, the sun is setting. Where the hell is noon? Where the hell is 2 o'clock in the goddamn afternoon? Where the hell is the rest of time? It has to be perpetual friggin' sunset and sunrise. Have you lost your mind? 2, whenever you see an American flag or soldier, take a shot. Why? Because somewhere, somehow, American soldiers are going to get involved, which is awesome because I am prior military. But come on, let's give it a rest. Aren't the Autobots supposed to take care of their own problems just as well? Do we always have to lean on the men and on the brave men and women of our country? This is supposed to be about Transformers, not Transformers and the military.
Well, you got to remember in that arc, the when they created Nest and everything else with the military, it was anti-Decepticon units. They were teaching humans how to handle the Decepticons, even if the Autobots were not there.
Yeah, but they never involved them as much as they did in the cartoon series. So I gotta go with that a little.
Would you rather have Spike and his dad than the guy?
Actually, if you remember from the cartoon show, their last name was Witwicky.
Was it really?
Absolutely. I swear to you, on the episode that Spike, I can actually quote it to you. In the episode where Spike had to get his mind transferred into an Autobot, they actually quoted his last name. He's like, Mr. Witwicky, we're sorry, there's not much we could do for your son. And I swear to God, they actually did use it. 3,
Yes.
if you see a scantily clad, if you have a scantily clad teen, almost possibly underage girl, take a shot. Because trust me, Megan Fox, she just got tired of it. But then they just replaced her with somebody else. It wasn't hard to do. And what was the other one? Oh, yeah. If they over-explain the narrative way too many times, take a shot for every time. However, within 30 minutes, if you start to slur way too much and cannot keep a conscious thought, you might want to seek professional medical help. Because after 30 minutes, you're going to need more than just a bottle. You're going to need the whole goddamn fucking rack to fucking get your brain wrapped around half the concepts that he's trying to choke you down when he rapes your childhood.
And then
you're gonna have fun editing that rant.
And then to finish off the alcohol poisoning after your Michael Bay fiascos, pop in J.J. Abrams and take a shot every time you see a lens flare.
I'm not a fan of J.J.
Are you
Abrams.
trying to kill us?
So overrated as a
well,
director.
he did good. He did good at episode 7. I will say that.
The Force Awakens, he did do good, and you could tell he really.
My problem with The Force Awakens was his directing.
Really?
Yeah, because he made sure you knew what was going to happen 30 minutes before it happened every time, and I just thought it was clumsy. But he's never been good at keeping like secrets or suspense. He thinks he's good at it, but he's not.
Actually, I tend to disagree with you because I've seen some of J.J. Abrams' earlier movies. Like the one I'm thinking of right now was 10 Cloverfield Lane, because I watched it on Amazon Video, and I will say that movie had me guessing the entire time what the hell was going on, because they made it seem one way and then they made it seem another way. Then they made it seem, I was like, they had you, it was very similar to Lost and how you had to keep guessing what the hell was going on.
Oh, did you
see, I thought about Lost when I watched, because my thing with Lost is everybody guessed early on what it was, and he's like, no, that's not what it is, that's not what it is. And then it ends and that's exactly what it was. It's like, no, you're backtracking because everyone figured it out in the first season.
But yeah,
my argument for J.J. Abrams as far as negativity is concerned would be Lost. And it's simply that J.J. doesn't know how to end a story. He tells a good story, but he doesn't know how to end it. Lost was a terrible ending.
It was a predictable ending.
Yeah.
I just think he's very predictable. And so I get bored.
That's why JJ was perfect for episode 7, because it's the beginning of the trilogy. He doesn't have to end the story. He gave a perfect setup, but there's no ending.
See, Force Awakens is actually my least favorite Star Wars movie.
But yeah, for example, I'll go into let me go into this movie real quick. I'll explain why it was like. So essentially, it starts out with this girl. She's leaving her boyfriend because they had a fight. And as she's driving away, he calls her on her phone, and he's like, "Why did you leave? We just had a fight." Next thing, she gets into a car accident, gets pushed off of a cliff. She wakes up in this underground bunker with John Goodman, which is scary in itself.
Oh yeah.
And the entire time, he's kind of weird. Like, you could tell the dude's not. And he was saying, "Yeah, I saw your crashed car. I was on my way back to my bunker, and now you're safe. There was an attack." And the whole time, he was sitting there trying to figure out, is there an attack? Is there not an attack? Is this guy just abducted her? And then, she tries to get up to the front door, and somebody comes running up. She's got, like lesions all over her face. And, okay, there must be some sort of chemical attack. But then later on, she gets up to find this other little hatch, and there's, blood and scratches on the window. It says, "Help me." So now you're sitting there like, what the hell is going on? To figure out at the end of the movie, I don't think anyone who hasn't seen it yet is not going to want to see it anyway. But
did you design that spoiler alert that we talked about?
Yeah, so spoiler alert! So anyone who doesn't care, anyone else, plug your ears. So what turns out at the end is his wife and daughter left him. He abducted this teenage girl out of high school at one point and pretty much had her like and treated her like his daughter kind of deal. Then eventually so I don't know what happened to her. I think she died eventually, and he kind of just disposed of the body. So eventually she escapes after he just shoots the other guy who was down in the bunker who helped him build the bunker, shot him in the face, and then just pretty much got rid of his body in acid. So yeah. So eventually he escapes. She escapes. The bunker gets blown up. Finds out there is no air toxin. However, there are aliens. There's these alien ships that emit this green gas. I guess that's what causes the lesions and stuff. And she tries to escape. The truck, she's in the guy's truck. The truck gets picked up by an alien ship, then gets dropped. Then she ends up, because she figures out, I can't remember how she killed it. I think she threw a Molotov cocktail at it and ended up like damaging the ship enough to get loose. And then she drove away in the lady who was like all lesions up car, and they're apparently the human race is fighting aliens. It was just weird. Like I didn't expect the aliens part.
Right. I mean, everybody gets lucky. I just think that he tends to be overrated.
Except for me, apparently. I never get lucky.
Well, see, I don't know why your explanation made me think of this, but going back to our last rant of worst sequels ever, it gotta be Blair Witch Project 2, Book of Shadows.
I liked Blair Witch Project 2, Book of Shadows.
We had some weird stuff happen after we saw that movie.
Here's the thing, okay?
Really?
It was a completely different style movie than the first one, obviously, because it wasn't shown in first person. It wasn't set up as a whole, like, hey, these people disappeared. No, it was set up as a movie. I really liked the premise of Book of Shadows, how they felt, in the entire movie, you thought it was going one way. And then at the end, when they're all arrested, it was reality. They were the ones doing the killing, and they didn't even know it. I thought that was kind of genius.
I liked that, too. I didn't like that after we saw it, and it was pitch black outside, we went out, and the car wouldn't start. That was not cool. But I liked the movie. Because the whole time I was watching the Blair Witch Project, I'm sitting there going, you guys are stupid! I would have lived! Quit going in circles! Quit turning around! Like, this is survival 101. You guys keep changing directions.
Yeah, well, that's the first Blair Witch, yeah.
Yeah.
It did. The second one did follow the premise of Scream, though, because everything went to crap when they went out into the woods where the Blair Witch Project apparently happened, the films and everything else. And what do? They get drunk, they get high, they have sex. They're breaking the rules. They're breaking the rules of a horror movie.
Well, that's what you got to do to have a horror movie.
Well,
I would survive a horror movie because I've been pre-disastered. So,
what do you mean by
pre-disastered people survive?
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, like if something really bad happened in your past, you're either going to survive or you're the killer and you didn't know it.
Or both.
We're good. I'm good.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm all right.
I've been through enough hell already. The apocalypse would be a real breath of relief.
Right. And if you have a parent who's deceased, you also live. It's like a rule.
I was 6 months old when my dad passed away. I live.
We live. Now I want a shirt that says I would survive a horror movie.
I know I would.
I have survived a horror movie.
I'm the one yelling at people in horror movies, like when they take out the killer, and they sit there and stand on top of the body, like, just get the fuck out of there, just get out of there, just get out of there, just get out of there, no, get out of there, don't kick the body, you stupid, get in that car and leave.
See, I like to think.
What are you running up the stairs for?
Always up the stairs.
Why are you running up the stairs and not out the front door? The front door is right there.
Or why do they always go to secluded areas instead of a big crowded mall?
Yeah, it's like, hey, look, there's a gas station. Ooh, look, woods. I'm going to go run in the woods and hide from the killer.
Right?
Now, see, I like to think that I always like to think like everybody does. I'd like to think in a horror movie I'd be the hero, but in reality, if I were to survive the horror movie, I would be the guy that like everybody thought was dead that shows up after the actual hero.
You'd be what's his name in Cabin Fever.
Cabin in the Woods.
No, Cabin Fever. He was hiding
the guy that's always like hiding like he doesn't even know what's going on because he's in a little room stoned off his out of his mind.
And at the end he pops out, he's like, I lived. I survived, and he gets shot by the police. That's you. That's you right there.
That would be Matt in a room getting choked the whole time and not knowing what's going on.
No, see, Matt would be the dude from Cabin.
It's like, hey guys.
Matt would be the guy from Cabins of the Wood with the cup that turns into a bong or whatever, the thermos that turned into a bong.
Yeah, I mean Marty from Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, that would be you.
I imagine I'd more be like the guy who would like jump in the way of the killer to protect the main protagonist, and everybody would think I was dead. And then after the protagonist is dead and the cops show up, or not the protagonist, the killer's dead and the cops show up and everything, all of a sudden it's like I'm taken out on the stretcher, but I'm still alive.
Or
see, I would be the crazy one,
room holding your innards inside.
Yeah. I would be the crazy one. I'll just be the one who'd walk up to the killer and just confuse the hell out of it. Just be like, yeah, come on. You're going to kill me? Kill me. What the... You know something? I had enough of this. I'm going to kill you first. I'm done.
I'm done. I don't have time for this.
I'm done. I don't have time for this.
Yeah, let's be real. I think if life was a real horror movie, like if Friday the 13th existed, I'd probably walk up to Jason and be like, yo, you need a partner? I can't stand these kids either. Let's do it.
Just remember, though, as far as that term, to bring it serious for a sec, some people have lived horror movies already, so.
Let's make it happen, you know? hell with these kids.
We love premarital sex. Talking about a franchise-killing movie, Jason X.
There you go.
Yeah, you gotta obey the rules.
Machete back.
Yeah, that's the one part I like to Scream too, incidentally too, where they were told when he calls up the movie guy and goes, "What's your favorite scary movie?" It's like Showgirls.
That was Scream 2.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Scream 2.
The hell out of me.
I said Scream 2.
Oh my God. Well, franchises.
Another franchise-killing movie, Hangover Part 2.
Yeah.
Hangover Part 1 was the franchise killer.
No, I liked Hangover Part 1.
Through that movie.
Well,
I never got through the first one.
I got far. I didn't like Hangover, but if we're going to talk about franchise killers, or should have been franchise killers, and for some reason the franchise survived it, let's be honest, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yep.
I like how they wrote a whole series of movies afterwards just to make that movie make sense in the timeline. Like, seriously, think about it. Then they went back to 4, and then 5. It wasn't by like the 6th or 7th movie, but it actually started to make sense with Tokyo Drift. Like, Tokyo Drift didn't happen in between 2 and 4. It happened after 7. It's like, how does that make sense? Because 7 is like where they finally tied it all together, and it was just like, okay, it took you guys 4 movies to tie in Tokyo Drift to the whole universe? Really? 4 movies?
Somebody made me watch the first one, and after that I was like, why?
Things you learn from Fast and Furious.
Well, see,
you yell NOS at a burning car, it explodes. Cars have 30-speed transmissions.
See, Eric.
Let me keep going here. Hold on, no, I'm doing. In fact, hold on a sec.
People like Eric love the Fast and Furious franchise, so he could definitely be the devil's advocate in this conversation. But even he's got to be able to admit that as much as you or I may think they should never have made any of the Fast and Furious movies ever, whether I'll keep going with it. Tokyo Drift was the biggest dumpster fire out of that whole entire series.
Oh, come on. Let's not... The casting wasn't even that great. The high school kid, it looked like he was in his 30s.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Lucas. With the really bad Texas accent.
Well, see, the director, when they did Tokyo Drift, basically, he was just introducing drifting of the cars because it was so underground. That's why that was made. I mean, what threw me off is it's like, okay, you killed Han in Tokyo Drift, and then he's alive in the next one. I said, what the hell's going on? It was weird. It's like, wait a minute, you guys went totally ass backwards, pretty much like Christina was saying, because it's like, okay, he's in 5, you know? Because when he said in the third one, he's like, well, I was, you know, he was in love with a girl once, okay, which we all know who it was. It's the girl that plays Wonder Woman. Because he fell in love with her, and it's like, okay, so, because it's like he put Tokyo Drift in 5 when they were driving away, and I'm like, okay, you just really just screwed up the franchise. I was like, how can you do that? You should have did that one before. I mean, I like them because of the cars. I mean, I was always into souped up cars with nitrous and all that stuff. I mean, that's why I like them. I like them because of the cars.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Fast and Furious franchise is the same as the Transformers franchise. They're giant car commercials.
Souped up cars.
It's what they are. You're trying to sell cars.
Here we go.
So if a person's not into cars, they're not going to be into those movies.
Here's some here's some funny stuff about this for you. So what I've learned from Fast and Furious. Day 1, I didn't realize NOS was worth so much. I definitely still got a 12-pack in the garage from 2002. Really hopping in the car. Let me see. Oh, God, I got to find other ones here. Yeah, dead air. But yeah, it was just like, there's like a whole bunch of them. I can't find the one I found before, but it was like, the stuff was hysterical. It was like, you know, like just because a Honda can be, it was like stuff like, who knew a Honda could actually beat a muscle car? Like stuff like that. Like,
they can't.
Here's a funny fact for you. You know how you see I mean, you live near enough Philly, you too, Eric. Matt, you live in Dover, so you live in a major city. Everyone's seen those, like, wannabe Ricer Hondas. You know why they have that, like, aluminum loop on the back? Funny fact.
Yeah.
Down.
Huh?
To keep the ass end down.
No, it's aluminum loop on the bottom of the car.
Why?
It's a tie-down. What they do, I've seen videos of this in Puerto Rico. They actually tie it to a tombstone, you know, like the things you see on the side of the highway, or a giant concrete block so they can do burnouts. Like, the only way they could get these cars to do burnouts is to tie into something. Think about that one for a minute.
Oh.
Like, they literally, like, to take this chain, wrap it around like a giant concrete block so they can burn out. Like, meanwhile, you know, the old muscle cars, like, Chris, you remember my Cutlass?
Unfortunately.
I mean, unfortunately.
It was no muscle car. It was a Cutlass.
1976 Cutlass. It was a muscle car.
It was a Cutlass.
It was a big block muscle car. It's still a muscle car.
Muscle cars are Camaros and Mustangs and SS's, not a freaking Cutlass.
You are wrong. You are so wrong right now. Muscle cars are any domestic vehicle built between 1977 and under. And even that was argumented to be 1972 and under. But anything those cars came with
muscle car.
Well, there are in that argument, yes, but it was technically a muscle car. It still had
Dodge Challenger.
It's a muscle car. Yes, it is a muscle car.
Your argument, you just said 72.
69. I said anything under.
Oh, under. Okay.
Yeah.
Under.
I heard you wrong.
She did say under.
I thought she said 72 up. Sorry.
No, 72 under. Like some people say 72, but reality is 77 and under. A lot of those cars, the reason why people say 72 is because 73 is the first year of emissions, what killed the horsepower in a lot of those cars. And that's actually when Chrysler said, okay, well, we're done. We're not building any more cars like this because you're killing us with these emissions. But, yeah, like the Skylark. Okay, those Skylarks were actually, some of them are pretty mean. The Buick Wildcat, that's a muscle car. You had the Skylark GTX. You had the GTO. You had the Cutlass, a.k.a. also the submodels of that, the Hurst Olds 442. You had the Charger, the Challenger, the Barracuda on the Mopar front. You had the Stingray, which is a Corvette. You had the GTO, the Le Mans, the Tempest, I gotta keep thinking here. The Torino, the Ford Torinos. Muscle car. Mustang, of course, which is the most well-known. Mustang and Camaro are the most well-known. The Firebird and Trans Ams. There's a lot of them out there.
The Volare.
The Volare was never a muscle car. That thing had a 6-cylinder engine in it.
The Galaxies.
The Galaxies, yes, the 60s Galaxies. It's the Galaxy 500s especially. It goes on. The El Camino is even considered a muscle car, as well as the Ranchero.
Mm-hmm.
The El Camino.
And the Ranchero, which was Ford's version of it was built off of a Torino frame.
The Camino, the El Camino was the car version of the mullet.
It really was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the most apt description ever.
It really is. I can't even argue that. But yeah, the muscle cars was that whole generation of two-door cars with V8 engines in them. That's the basic way of saying it. They came with V8s in them. They had power. Even the Nova. You can't take it away from the Nova. That was the poor man's muscle car. That was the I'm kind of broke, but I can afford a Nova.
That was the Datsun. Datsuns were the poor man's muscle car, even in the 80s.
Datsuns weren't muscle cars because they're imported or Japanese. Muscle cars are exclusively American vehicles.
Yeah, but Datsuns were powerful little cars until Nissan turned around, bought out the company, and turned it into a complete pussy fest.
Well, yet again, Nissan does have one of the fastest production cars ever built. We have to give that credit.
Who?
Nissan.
What car?
The R34 Skyline.
That beats out like a Lamborghini Countach? I doubt it.
Lamborghini Countach is not considered a production car because they're hand assembled. We're talking about cars built. Production cars are cars built on assembly lines.
Oh, okay.
By machines. Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Koenigseggs, McLarens, they're all hand built. They're all custom hand built. Those cars. The R34 Skyline is actually faster than a Corvette. It is faster than the Roush Mustang. It is the fastest production car in the market. It's faster than a Camaro.
And yet it still sounds like a wet Taco Bell fart when it's going down the road.
Come on. I remember I had my GT. I had my Grand Prix GTP. It was a 2000. And I had worked on it. It wasn't stock. I'm sitting at a red light on Roosevelt Boulevard when I lived in Philly, and there's this little black Civic with a fart can on it. And the guy's revving his engine next to me. Here's... And I'm looking over, the guy's I'm like, fine. So I rev up. The light turns green. I turn up. I see this car literally buck so hard that its nose probably smashed the ground and stalled and just smoke pouring out of it. He blew his clutch. And I just couldn't. And I literally slowed down and just walked away.
See, that's why I argue. I'm a motorcycle guy, and Harleys are 100% thing. To me, this bull crap. Street racer bikes like the rice burning crotch rockets. I cannot stand these things, and people try to act like badass. Like again, you're talking about like a wet fart sound going down the road. Like the hell is that, dude? Where's the power? Where's the balls in this thing?
You forgot my Honda CB, my CB750K, that cruiser I had.
No, I didn't, because I didn't know anything about that.
I might have been right after you moved to Colorado. I had a 83 Honda CB750K Cruiser. Had a 4-cylinder engine in it. 4 carburetor, 4 engine, 750cc. That bike was unruly fast for starters, and it was heavy, so it wasn't just built on like a light frame. It was a heavy frame. I put it in the back of my F-150, and my F-150 was rubbing tires when I first picked the bike up. So I sagged out a half-ton pickup truck with it. That's how much weight this thing had. And that bike, I had a friend of mine, a very experienced Harley rider. I mean, he's had Harleys his entire life. He's like, yo, let me take it out for a ride. So I figured, okay, why not? Yeah, he dumped it, and it's because it was too fast for him.
Well, see, I'm not saying that there aren't decent foreign motorcycles. I mean, I'm not just talking about like Harley as a motorcycle.
You're talking about crotch rockets.
I'm talking about crotch rockets. Yeah,
exactly.
Like Hondas have like the gold wings and stuff like that. I mean, these
Shadow.
are decent bikes. BMW, the Shadow, the BMWs, the Ducatis, they're decent bikes. But then you look at these Kawasaki Ninja queer baits. I can't even find a nice way. I'm sorry if I insult anybody, but I can't find a nicer way to put it. Like, why are they the biggest douchebags on the road?
No.
Eric
They're the
said
ones
no.
that cause all the accidents with the piece of crap Hot Wheels car bike, acting like they're the biggest badasses on the road.
Well, let's ask you this question. I'm going to pose a question to you. Would you rather have a crotch rocket, or would you rather have a smart car?
I'd rather walk and accept a bus pass.
You guys are going on and on about cars, and I'm sitting here going, I used to have a horse.
So did I. What kind of horse?
She's got real
paint.
horsepower.
A what?
A quarter horse paint.
Oh,
Picasso's
nice.
Dolly. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
She was my sweetie.
Growing up,
Ah, I have
Growing up-
bogarted the car conversation.
I was gonna say
I had an Appaloosa.
I had a black quarter horse.
Yeah, I had an Appaloosa.
Uh,
Black and white.
my favorite
Nice
horse
long
growing
mane,
up was a
shows my
Palomino,
sweetheart.
and that was just because of Mr. Ed.
I loved my horse though because the one that I had come over to reshoe her, she fucking kicked him.
And that's 2 of the F-bombs by Christina.
Hey, you know something? After what I've been through today, I don't care.
My horse was obsessed with Dr. Pepper and pickles.
My horse was obsessed with buttons. Don't like you have the jackets that have like the larger buttons on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't wear it. You would never wear it around her. She would sure as the sun is bright, would sit there, would go right for your jacket, and try to eat it every time.
Yeah.
Like she was obsessed with eating buttons.
How we doing on time, Christina?
No clue.
10:46.
Was I supposed to be paying attention? 42 minutes, 36 seconds.
All right. Well, we are reaching that point where we're going to go ahead and take a couple minutes here and take a break for RadioCast FM station identification and some music, and we'll be right back with our closing thoughts on RadioCastFM.com.
Banana hammock.
Bork, 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 bork. Welcome back
I think
to the fourth wall.
the intro to our show is just going to turn into him laughing every time.
That's the whole goal. Gotta get him fired up, and then we get started.
Oh my god.
I think he's gonna pee himself. I think he's gonna pee himself.
That's the saddest part. He's sitting away from the camera, but he's laughing so hard the camera's bouncing.
He's experienced an earthquake of a 7.5.
Oh God, this is so wrong.
Before we get into our movies of the week, there is one other thing I forgot to mention that I saw on the news this morning. We're going to go into a little toy section here. Barbie has decided to change Ken to make him more PC. They are releasing 10 different Ken dolls consisting of like different ethnicities and stuff of that nature, which is not unheard of before, but instead of the blue-eyed guy that we've been used to since Barbie's inception back in like the 40s, now we have like Ken with the man bun.
Oh God.
Do we have Ken? Do we have an overweight Ken in a banana hammock?
I'm going
Me.
Middle-aged Ken, you know.
middle-aged Ken with the beer gut.
Yeah, wearing it, but he's got to be wearing the thong
Exactly.
because he's still former stripper Ken.
Oh God,
Yes,
no.
yes, the middle-aged Ken in the man thong with the V patch of hair coming right from the ass crack.
And it's gotta be blotchy. It's gotta be blotchy hair too. Like he has like random blotches of hair on his ass cheeks and back.
No, I got it. Plus, it's got to be a leopard print thong. And he's gotta have.
And he's gotta have a chain. He's gotta have a fanny pack with it because it just will complete it.
A gold chain. A couple of gold chains.
Which is tangled up in his chest hairs.
I gotta correct the thong. It was actually just a brown thong, but it became leopard print because he's been having constitutional issues and.
Oh, you had to go there. You had to go there.
Yeah, you just killed it. I'm moving on.
Sweetheart, is there anywhere we wouldn't go?
I just realized Eric really hasn't said much.
I think we lost Eric in segment 1.
Yeah.
We talked about Fast and the Furious. He talked for a minute, and then he's like sleeping. Wake up,
He's
Eric!
over
Wake
there
up!
Dwelling in darkness. The light
Hello,
reflecting
darkness,
off.
my old friend.
Well, we'll get him involved in this one. Well, first off, Eric, how do you feel about the new politically correct Ken doll?
Man Thong Kang. There we go.
I don't give a rat's ass about the Ken doll. I'm being honest. I'm sorry. I don't give a rat's ass about it. I don't care. You can make it white, black, orange, green, yellow. I don't care.
Well, would you be more excited if the Ken doll had, like, you know, a banana hammock and kung fu grip?
I heard there's a special edition Eric Ken coming out. Looks like that.
Christina, come on. You're killing yourself here.
Oh man.
Eric Ken.
Eric
Ken, how you looking forward to the man bun Ken doll? You gonna buy it for your daughter?
That is so. They're getting out of control. It's just. I'm glad my daughter's out of that phase. She's kind of into brats and stuff like that, but she's gone past that Barbie phase. You know what I mean? I've been able to.
I'm sorry, I gotta argue that point. At least there was something positive out of Barbie. Maybe not the current Ken doll, but there was something positive out of Barbie. Brats, really?
No, not brats.
To be a stuck-up douche?
No, not brats. Not brats. What you call it? The Monster High dolls.
Oh, okay.
No, not brats. Monster High. Monster High is a little bit more friendly, if you will. It's kind of like it's basically Universal Monsters and their kids.
Right.
That's it.
I was never into Barbies, so.
Well, yeah, I have more girls than I have sons, so it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of masculine pink in his house.
A little, not much, but a little.
How about you, Christina? You going to be combing out his nice man bun?
I'm not even going near that.
That's what she said.
You've heard that a few times, haven't you?
That's what anyone with common sense should say.
All right. Kristen, how about you? Would you want to bring home sensitive Ken to your daughter if you had one?
I wouldn't bring home any Ken or Barbie to my daughter. They're boring. I don't like them.
Hey, the most celebrated thing I have with my daughter right now is the fact she wants Star Wars figures.
Yeah, that's with me too. My daughter loves Star Wars, so.
DC.
Come on, my daughter was over this weekend. We were having Nerf gun fights.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Awesome.
Is everybody still there?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're still here.
Is everybody speaking?
Yeah, but you're breaking up.
We are, but
You sound like you sound like you should say put the lotion on the skin.
or else it gets the hose again.
Or he's talking in water.
Don't hurt, princess.
And
we lost the host. And boom goes the dynamite.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna have to continue this with
Well, see if he comes back. So.
All right.
We got a couple minutes to see if he comes back. If not, we can just continue discussing man thongs.
Why?
Because it's mean. Okay, let's ask this. Okay, what's the worst thing you've ever seen on the beach? Matt?
Are we talking about like in that or just bad overall?
Just bad overall.
Well, being from New York, some things washed up that weren't exactly anything I wanted to see.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, so
it's either drugs, body parts, or just nasty stuff.
Pretty much nasty stuff. Like sometimes you're wondering like, okay, I'm not gonna go swim at the medical waste. They have a pool. They have a pool out here, right? Oh, I'm out of here. It's pretty much that's where everything goes.
Oh. Is he coming back?
He's a spinning circle of death.
Yeah, he was swirling.
Swirly.
Oh, there he is.
Was I swirling?
You were swirling.
You were swirling.
Yeah, you were. It was bad.
I don't know what the hell happened.
You lost
All
connection.
Right, so,
you probably had a lag out on your internet. It happens.
Well, I'm hardwired in, so it couldn't have been that. It had to have been the system. Well, now here I am on my phone, so sorry about that, guys. But might as well get into our movie picks of the week so we can end this episode since my computer decided to crap out like in the last 10 minutes of the show.
Thanks, HP.
Yeah, sponsored by HP. Movies based on TV shows will be the movie picks of the week.
Ooh, okay.
So, was inspired by or a spin-off from a TV show. Doesn't matter what era or when. Doesn't matter if it's comedy, horror, or otherwise. What's your guys' picks for movies based off of TV shows?
I called this one earlier, so I'm going to go with it. Addams Family. Gave me my first. I said it to them before, and I'll say it again. First Hollywood crush when I was a kid. Christina Ricci, Raul Julia. He was awesome in that. I loved him as Gomez. Him and Angelica Houston as Morticia. I mean, whenever I see a meme about them, they always have to put the old and the new together. Always, they always have them side by side. And so that says something about their performance together on screen. So I just loved it. Addams Family.
All right. Eric, you look thrilled. How about you?
That stunk, or you want me? Shit.
This is movie pick of the week. This is what you want people to watch this week.
Oh. There's not many TV show movies that I could think of that were good to recommend. Well, that was a movie. I'll say, you know what? I just actually watched it, so I'm going to say Wonder Woman. That was a TV show.
That's fair enough. I mean, it was based on a comic, but that's fair enough. There was a TV show before there was a movie. All right, well, you saw Wonder Woman. What'd you think of it?
It's kind of started out slow, but it picked up in the end. It was really, really good. Really good movie.
All right. Kristen, your movie pick of the week.
I'm too lazy to really think about it, so I'm just going to say Batman.
Wow. Which one?
Batman and Robin.
I'm going to go the Tim Burton. Yeah, no. Batman Returns. I love that one. Watch it.
Yes, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll play off of Kristen's in a minute. Christina, your choice.
South Park. Bigger, longer, uncut.
Oh, God.
Right.
Because why wouldn't you just love a movie with just endless fart jokes? A whole song sung by Terrence and Phillip, them trying to go to war with Canada, of all places.
And Satan has a musical number,
and
too.
Satan has a musical having an intimate, like I try to phrase this without screwing up again, having an intimate relationship with Saddam Hussein.
Come on, guy.
And shooting and kind of general shooting and the bad racism, which South Park's known for, and shooting Bill Gates in the face because of Windows 98.
Well, see, my choice for the week was going to be the movie I showed you guys earlier that I just recently picked up, Battlestar Galactica: Blood and Chrome. It's a prequel movie to the rebooted TV show. explaining the story of Admiral Amata when he first got attached to Galactica as a young lieutenant fresh out of the academy, and was a fighter pilot flying a Rapier-class ship through a special ops mission. Kind of built to his legend and character within the Battlestar Galactica universe. It was actually a really well-done movie, so get a chance, check that out. But as far as Kristen is concerned, when she chose Batman, I'm highly disappointed you did not choose the 1966 Batman movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh my! It's on Netflix. Go watch it.
Is it? Okay, I didn't know it was on Netflix.
You just can't get rid of a bomb.
Bear in mind, I didn't actually get that into comic books and like the comic book movies until I got older. So
the odds are so high, a gambler wouldn't have taken them. When they landed on a pile of surplus phone rubber.
Christina, where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Christina Talley Warburton. You can also find me on Realm of the Mist Entertainment with my new podcast, which is called That Trans Geek Girl, which launched 2 weeks ago, actually. You can also find me on Xbox Live as Kava Biodira. You can find me on PSN at Biohaze666. You can... Yeah, I finally remembered it. Took me 2 weeks. You can also...
took that long.
Yeah, whatever. Like I said, well, by the time this airs, my last show of Eclectica will have aired and been done with. So no longer on that front, which is kind of sad, but at the same time I needed to do it to free up time for our YouTube segments and everything else. And if you want to email me, it's Christina_Talley, Tali, at yahoo.com.
Eric.
All right, you can find me on Facebook at Eric J. Batista Sr., and I'm also on the Xbox One at Smoke1437. And it's pretty much it.
Matt.
Everyone can find me on Facebook at Matthew with 2 T's Cruz. And you can contact me at Fox with 2 X's C77 at gmail.com. And soon to be coming, and we'll be filming it this week, Gaming XP, which will be airing next week. It's the first episode. Christina, when are we going to release this date, or are we just going to
We'll talk about that off camera. That's
okay.
That's not
All right.
talking news now.
Okay. But other than that, yeah, that's where you guys can find me.
And Kristen.
you can find me on Facebook under Kristen Stovall, or on the fan page for my books, the Song of Souls trilogy. You can find me on Twitter. Again, Kristen Stovall. And since everyone else mentioned gaming things, you can also find me on the Ebon Hawk server of Star Wars The Old Republic as Inari Sun.
There you go. And speaking of Star Wars Old Republic, first off, you can find me at Facebook.com at Christopher Michael Stolley. You can also find me at RealmOfTheMist.com. You can find me every Monday Raising the Underground on Radiocast FM. Breaking the Fourth Wall. Sometimes I appear on War of the Stars. Sometimes I appear on some of the other great shows that we have on Radiocast FM. Or, yeah, not Radiocast. On our YouTube channel, Realm of the Myth. And, of course, I am launching a brand new show myself. Have not decided on when it's gonna air yet, but I am reforming a Let's Play episodic show. Dealing with different video games. I may even play the Old Republic with some of our cast members. So keep an eye out for Press A Gaming coming soon. Realm of the Mist Entertainment.
I guess I need to transfer my characters on Old Republic to Ebon Hawk.
Come to the dark side.
Yeah, but I don't feel like paying for character transfers.
Yes, come to the dark side. We have banana hammocks.
Oh, God. No, that would make people run away.
Hey guys, watch this video. If we get, I tell you what, we'll do it this way. You guys give us 100 likes on all our videos, or 100, and you won't have to see Chris in a banana hammock.
I'm getting on there right now.
I'll do it too. I'll give you guys 2 weeks. You have 2 episodes to give us 100 likes on one.
No, just subscriptions. Just 100 likes on our channel.
All right, yeah, 100 likes on our channel. You have 2 episodes to get that done. 2 weeks. Or I do the following fourth. I'll do the fourth wall at Brave New World in a banana hammock.
And I will not be showing up for that show at that point.
Offer some positive reinforcement.
That is positive reinforcement. I won't be in that banana hammock. We get 100 likes. It's a small banana. Chiquita banana.
Un poquito manzana.
Un poquito. All right, on that note, guys, have a good week. We'll catch you next week on RadioCast FM. Have a good one, guys.
Nice.
Y'all have a good one.